Right, so we're on to week 2 of your nutritional plan. This is the most important aspect of your plan. I'm going to need your full focus. I'm going to need you also to have a pen and a notepad handy. If you don't have one, pause this video, go and get yourself one and come back and hit play. So basically what we're going to cover is calories in this presentation. Now the plan for the remainder of your program would be to get you to track and monitor your calories. So you're still going to follow your nutritional plan that you already downloaded. The habits, you're still going to follow those habits, but you're also going to start tracking and monitoring your calories each and every day, just to take the guesswork out of things. We want to ensure 110% that you actually achieve your goal by the end of week 6. And in order to do that, as I've already said, we're going to have to take the guesswork out, and counting or tracking our daily caloric intake is going to ensure that we actually do that. So what we are going to cover today, we're going to cover what calories are, how the amount of calories you eat each day determine whether you're going to gain or lose weight, and how to calculate your calories for fat loss, and also how to monitor them, can't say that word, monitor them each day. Right, so let's get straight into it. What are calories? Calories are the building blocks of the food you eat and serve as fuel for your brain, body, and daily activity. Think of your brain and body as a car and calories as petrol. The same way a car won't move without petrol, without calories, your brain and body won't be able to operate. So look at your body like a car. In order for your body to move, in order for the car to move, it's going to need fuel. And the fuel that we get, or the fuel that we fuel our body with, we get it through the food that we eat. So that's basically what calories are. It's quite simple. We don't need to get into the ins and outs of um, like the molecular structure of calories and stuff like that. That's allowed. We don't need to know all that. All we need to know is that calories is basically the fuel that our body needs, and the fuel that we actually give our bodies. So how the amount of calories you eat determine whether you're going to gain or lose weight. So each day, your brain and body needs a certain amount of calories to operate. You also need calories to fuel your day-to-day physical activity. So everything you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Calories give your brain and body more calories than it needs, and it will save what's left over in the form of fat. This is a very important um, part to consider. I'm going to get into it in a bit more detail in a couple of moments, but just remember that. Give your brain and body less calories than it needs. It will need to make up for the deficit. It does this by tapping into stored fat. So I'm going to discuss that also as well. Give your brain and body no more or no less calories than it needs, and it won't need to save calories in the form of fat or tap into fat savings. This you won't lose or gain. So that's a bit of a toy, but so if you do that, if you give your body exactly the amount of calories that it needs and it burns each day, you're not going to lose weight, or you're not going to gain weight. You're going to stay the same. It's important to also know that as well. So example for weight gain, your brain and body needs 2,000 calories each day. So your brain and body, it expends a total of 2,000 calories each day, but you give it 2,500 calories through the food you eat. So you're giving it an extra 500 calories, you're giving it 500 calories more than it actually needs. What it's going to do, it's going to save the 500 in the form of fat. So if you do that each and every day, if you give your body more calories than it needs, over time, the result is going to be you're going to gain weight. Now, here's an example for weight loss. Your brain and body needs 2,000 calories each day, or it burns 2,000 calories each day. You give it 1,700 calories. So you're giving it 300 calories less than it actually needs. So it's going to need to make up for the 300 calories. And the way it's going to do that, it's going to tap into your fat storages and it's going to burn those up. It's going to make up for the deficit in that way. As a result of doing so, if you do this day in and day out, it's going to result in weight loss. So your body's going to continually tap into fat storages to make up for the deficit, and you're going to burn fat and going to lose weight over time. Example for maintenance. So no weight loss or no weight gain. Your brain and body needs 2,000 calories. You give it 2,000 calories, so you don't give it more or you don't give it less. As a result, you're not going to gain or lose weight. You're just going to stay the same. Now, here's a good little analogy. As I'm finishing off on exactly what calories are and how they either make us lose or gain weight, I'd like to give analogies to try and help people remember what I'm discussing a bit better. So hopefully this does the job for you. So let's say you set up a savings account with your local bank and you commit to paper to save €100 a week. Now let's say you also went into the bank tomorrow, but instead of giving them the 100, that you committed to giving them, you gave them an extra 50, you gave them 150. Would the bank throw away the €50 because it only requires 100 from you? Of course it's not going to. It's going to save the extra 50. Now the body is no different. If you deposit more calories than it needs, it won't just throw away the extra calories. Instead, it will save them in the form of fat storages. What you need to be doing is to be tapping into your fat savings every day by giving your body less calories than it needs, or by burning more calories through physical activity. So when we give our bodies less calories than it needs, it's going to tap into stored fats. Now you don't have to dramatically drop your calories. You can do it. You can get your body to tap into stored fats. Two different ways, or by a mixture of doing these two things together. So one, you give your body less calories, it's going to tap into stored fats to make it for the deficit, or you engage in more physical activity each day. So that's going to burn more calories, which will result in your body needing more energy. So it's going to tap into stored fats that way. So that's a good little way I like to explain or to help people remember what I'm trying to convey. So take that into consideration. Your body is just like a bank. If you give it more than it actually needs, it doesn't just throw away the extra calories or the extra money that you give it. It's going to save whatever you give it. So how to calculate your calories for fat loss. So over this video, the formula is up there. It's very important. This is the most important part of it. So make sure you get these calculations right. Make sure when you're doing them, you're not distracted. And I'd even do them twice just to double check that you get them right. If you even enter one digit wrong, it's going to give you a different goal for your calories. And if that goal is not the right goal for you, it could result in you gaining weight as opposed to losing. So it's very, very important that you dial in when you're doing this. So here's the formula. You need to get today's weight. So if you haven't weighed yourself already, and if you have a scale handy, pause this video, go in and weigh yourself. Now if it's in stone, convert it to pounds. So go on to Google, type in stone to pounds converter, and convert it to pounds. Or if it's in kg, also convert it to pounds as well. So basically, you're getting your weight, whatever you weigh in pounds, you multiply it by 11 equals X. So whatever number you're left with, what you're going to do now is if you have 2 stone or less to lose, you're going to deduct 300 from the initial number that you got, from the initial calculation that you got up on the today's weight multiplied by the 11. So whatever number that was there, you're taking away 300 calories from that. If you have up to 2 stone to lose, and that's going to be your daily caloric goal. Now, if you have 2 to 4 stone to lose, you're going to take 500 from it. Or if you have more than 4 stone to lose, you're going to take 600 from it. So I'm going to give you a little example now. So today's weight in pounds, 160 pounds, you multiply that by 11 equals 1,760. Now let's say I have 2 stone to lose equals 1,760. Take away 300 calories equals 1,460. So 1,000, if that was your weight, and if your goal was to lose 2 stone, your daily caloric goal would be 1,460. Now it's very important to consider first and foremost that this formula, it usually is accurate, it usually is very accurate, but for some people, for a small minority of people, it mightn't give them the right number. So this is just a foundation. The number that it gives you, that's going to be your foundation. We're going to mess with that for the next week. If it gets you down, if you make the progress that I expect you to make and that I want you to make and that you expect and want to make too, that's grand. We'll stick with that number. But if you're not, if you're losing too much weight, we're going to have to adjust the calories. I'll do that for you. Or if you're not losing any weight at all, again, I'll adjust it for you as well. So it's important that you check in with me 7 days later, see how we are progressing, and if we need to, we will adjust that number. So it's very important. I'm just going to go over this again. The calculations, it's very important. So your formula, whatever you weigh today in pounds, you're going to multiply that by 11. Whatever number you get, you will deduct whatever number here determined by your goals. You will deduct whatever number here. So if you have 2 stone or less, you're going to use that number. 2 to 4, you're going to use that number. 4 stone or more, you're going to use that number, and you're going to take that number away from whatever number you get up here, and that's going to be your daily caloric goal. So that's basically that. As I've already said, this section is the most important part of the program. It's very, very important that you do what I asked you to do it, put into practice. You've calculated your daily caloric goal and you start sticking to it. So in the next video below, I'm going to show you how to actually monitor your calories. There's a step-by-step video show you how to use MyFitnessPal. It's quite easy once you get used to it. If you haven't downloaded MyFitnessPal already, make sure you download it before you even go into the next section. And once you have it downloaded, go into the next section and then start immediately to put your goal into practice. Now, just before you do that, the daily caloric goal you've calculated here today will more than likely be different than the one MyFitnessPal will give you. So in order to get into MyFitnessPal, you have to put in your weight and your age and what your weight is and your goal. And due to the information that you give it, it's going to give you a number, a daily caloric goal. I want you to ignore the one that MyFitnessPal gives you. All you're doing with MyFitnessPal is just monitoring your calories through the foods you eat and making sure you don't go above the number that you've calculated today, or that's not too far below. You're making sure that you're hitting that number. Not eating enough can have the same effect as eating too much. It slows down the metabolism, makes us more likely to gain weight or to regain weight once we lose it. So you're sticking to your goal each and every day, and that's basically